Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now today we have received news that the first managerial sacking of the season has taken place in the Premier League, with Scott Parker losing his job at AFC Bournemouth. And in today's video we're going to be looking into a few of the reasons that may have contributed to this decision taking place from Maxim Demin, the owner of Bournemouth. So the statement that Bournemouth released this morning: AFC Bournemouth can announce that the club has parted company with head coach Scott Parker. Now, the owner of the club, Maxim Demin, said, "I would like to place on record my gratitude to Scott and his team for their efforts during their time with us. Our promotion back to the Premier League last season under his tenure will always be remembered as one of the most successful seasons in our history. However, in order for us to keep progressing as a team and a club as a whole, it is unconditional that we are aligned in our strategy to run the club sustainably. We must also show belief in and respect one another." That is the approach that has brought this club so much success in recent history, and one that we will not veer from now. Our search for a new head coach will begin immediately. So Gary O'Neill will now take charge of Bournemouth. However, I want to look at why maybe this decision has been made only 4 games into the season. So of course Bournemouth won their first game against Aston Villa, and that was quite a resounding result. 2-0, clean sheet, everything you could want in a return to the top flight. But then if you look at the following games, losing to Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool, of course maybe as a club Bournemouth may have expected this, and that makes the decision even more strange as to why they've sacked him. But when you look at the post-match comments he made away at Liverpool, you kind of get a further understanding as to why Bournemouth made the decision. And as they mentioned in the statement, they need to have respect for one another, and they feel that Scott Parker doesn't have respect for the squad or the staff behind the scenes, stating that the club need reinforcements that he feels he's not getting, and that he thought that worse was still to come following a 9-0, which won't give belief to any of the players and certainly won't contribute to how the mood around the club is currently. So maybe it was more of what he said rather than how the team performed, which led to his sacking. So it's interesting. It's very interesting that the decision's been made so soon as well, considering that their next few games they could have picked up more points. But I guess that the influence now around the club is that when you make comments like that, sort of not backing your players, not backing the people you have around you, and asking for more, maybe that's why the owners thought, okay, well, he's lost faith in the project, so how are we going to get the best football out of him when there's not that level of commitment there, like they mentioned in the statement. So who will Bournemouth go for next? Well, currently Gary O'Neill is now taking charge, and we'll see how long that lasts. But I think a good manager will be difficult to come by, as the season has only just started, so everyone will feel settled within their clubs. So it could be that Gary O'Neill takes charge for a little while now as they make the right decisions in the background to select Scott Parker's replacement. Now, I know this was only a short video today, but it was just something that was so important to touch on, given that it was the first big move made in the Premier League this season. A lot of people thought maybe it would be between Brendan Rodgers, Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard, and that Scott Parker would have been more comfortable in his position for the remainder of the season, given that Bournemouth had only just come back up, and many people knew that the squad wasn't the strongest and wasn't the biggest in the league, so there was a little bit of leeway there. But as we know, he has now lost his job. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like down below. It really does mean a lot. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe and join Beatables FC as we look to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Now keep an eye out for Friday, as we will be dropping what we learnt from game week 5, the next edition in our new series. And we look forward to seeing what the week of football holds for us.